Okay, so I'm just starting off my massive chicken and broccoli stew. I tend to make this quite a lot in the autumn, winter. It is one that is great if your kids are fussy with vegetables. I used to make this when the boys were much younger and didn't really enjoy broccoli. So first thing I'm going to put in my slow cooker is this bag of broccoli. There is a kilo here. And I just tip the whole thing in because by the time it's slow cooked, it actually disappears. You can't even tell it's in there. You still get all the goodness and the lovely flavour, but you don't get the massive chunks of broccoli, so it's really good for hiding veg. Next thing I've done is chopped up 2 large carrots, so I'm going to stick those in as well. And then I've got about 8 small potatoes. I'm making a massive one, by the way, because we love this so much we need leftovers. Oh, I always do that. So we've got about 8 potatoes chopped up there, just medium sized. I'm also going to add 1 whole onion, which I haven't chopped yet because I had no room on my chopping board. And I'm going to add some chicken stock, some herbs from the garden just to like flavour it. I'll probably take those out afterwards, but that's optional. I'm going to add some chicken breast. I'm going to put those in whole and then I'm going to shred them a little bit later. At the end of the cooking time, about ½ hour to an hour before I'm ready to serve, I add in some sage and onion stuffing mix. It thickens the stew and gives it an amazing flavour. So stock wise, I've got about 1.8 litres of chicken stock. So I'm just going to pour that in now so that I can make up the second half of it, because this is only a 900ml jug. Doesn't matter if all your stock didn't dissolve. So I'm going to chop my onion, add the rest of my stock, and then I'm going to pop my chicken breasts in as well. And this slow cooker is going to be full to the brim, but slow cookers are really cost effective, so it doesn't cost very much energy to leave it on all day long. It's about the same as a light bulb, which is considerably less power than using your oven. So this is a really good one if you're trying to save on electricity. And it does several portions, so you're cooking a lot at once, but it's a bit squeezed to get it all in. So I'm just going to add my onion and the rest of my stock, nestle my chicken in there, then we can always add some more salt and pepper and bits a bit later on. So I've just got some herbs out of the garden just because I've got them growing, so I thought I might as well use them. So I've just washed them off. I've put in 4 bay leaves. I've got some thyme. I'm going to leave it quite whole like that so that I can fish it out afterwards. You could chop it up if you wanted to. And then I've also got a sprig of rosemary, and I'm just going to pop those in there. I'm going to add my onion. As always, I've way overfilled it. I'm going to add the rest of my stock, and then I've got to try and nestle my chicken breasts in here as well. I'm not going to add any salt. I might add some black pepper, but you can always add salt afterwards because obviously you've got your chicken stock in there. And although this stew will probably do at least 8, if not 10 decent portions, I'm only going to use 4 chicken breasts because it really does go a long way. So I'm just going to pop those in. I do this with chicken off of a whole chicken as well, but it depends what you've got. You could use thigh. Oh my god, the dog is so loud today. You snoring? She stops when I talk to her. Just want to make sure your chicken breasts are covered so that they don't dry out. So try and try and force them down into your liquid. And obviously once things start to cook, this will die down a little bit. So I'm going to pop that on low, and it is now 10:17. So by around 4-5 o'clock, probably 4 o'clock, I will check it, take out the herbs, taste it, add any seasonings I want to add, and then I'm going to pop in my stuffing mixture as well. So make sure I plug it in would be a start, wouldn't it? That would be a big mistake. And make sure I plug the right thing in, because the other day I made something and actually plugged in my grill, not my slow cooker, and wondered why it was taking so long. Pop that in, pop that on low, and I'll be back in about 6 hours. So my stew's been on for about 5.5 hours, and what I'm doing now is fishing out the chicken breast and just shredding it with 2 forks, and then I'm going to pop that back in. I've also taken out most of the, oh there's the other one. I was going to say most of the herbs, but I can't find the last bay leaf, but I found it. So I've taken the herbs out. I'm going to take the chicken breast out, give it a good stir around. Some of the broccoli will start to break up. I'm going to put my shredded chicken in, and then I'm going to pour my stuffing mixture in, and we are good to go. So I added half a packet of this sage and onion stuffing mix just to thicken it up a bit and flavour it. We're now ready to serve. I've just done some dinner rolls in the air fryer and I'm just going to pop it in some bowls, so I'll show you it, but it's looking really good. Most of the broccoli has disappeared and it's just a massive portion of veg pack stew. So here we are served up, and you can see the carrots and the chicken, and this is just one of the perfect autumny comfort foods, and it's something that my boys request all the time, and I'm going to have loads left over, and it freezes really well as well. So for tonight's dinner we have got the curried chicken balls from Aldi with some cucumber, tomatoes and some oven chips, and this is basically it. This is what we're having, all in various forms and sizes, but yeah, this is the basic gist of it. So my son's just come up to me and said for dinner can he have cold tomato pasta. So you know, like you get tomato pasta salads in, like, I don't know, so service stations and like the pre-packaged ones like Tesco meal deals and that. He says that kind of thing. So I'm going to do my best. So I've got some pasta boiling. I'm going to blitz up a tin of peeled plum tomatoes, some tomato puree, a little bit of oregano, some chopped garlic and a chopped onion, and I'm going to stick it all in the blender, and then I'm going to put that in a frying pan and let it cook through a bit, mix it with his pasta and let it go cold. I'm thinking that's probably the best way to do it. I'm not really sure. It's a bit of an odd request really, just out off the top of his head, but I'll show you as I go along anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop my onion in. Probably start off blitzing that. Take in some garlic. Tomato puree. Some oregano. Completely making this up now. So here's what it came out like. I'm just going to heat it through so that the garlic and onion and things cook, and then mix it with the pasta. Hopefully this is what he was hoping for. So here is the pasta that was requested, and it's turned out really well actually, and there's loads left over, which is good. I've just popped that in the fridge, and I'm just serving it with one of the tandoori chicken thighs from Muscle Food. These are one of our favourites. And then we've got one child having wraps with their tandoori chicken, some cheese, some lettuce and some sweet chilli Nando's jam. And then the other one is having some potato gratin things that I got in Aldi, and some chicken. And then Steve and I are going to have something a little bit later on. So I've got a little production line going on, got some Scotch eggs underway. I've actually made 12. And the reasoning behind it is that they're such a messy job. If you're going to do it, you're going to boil the eggs, you're going to cool the eggs, you're going to peel them, you're going to whisk up like egg mix and form the pork and season it and all that sort of thing, then you might as well just make a batch at once. So these will keep in the fridge for a few days anyway, and they can also be frozen, so they're not going to go to waste. They're perfect in packed lunch boxes as well, and they are really big. They're like bigger than golf balls. They're about tennis ball size, so they make a really nice meal. We'll probably have some salad. I might do the boys some wedges or something with theirs along with their salad. These ones have got the stuffing mix as a coating, and then these ones have got the natural breadcrumbs, and these have got just like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder and oregano in the mince, and then I've added some cayenne pepper and a lot of black pepper into these as well as the other seasonings. So I pop them in my air fryer. I do them on the setting that is 200 degrees for 15 minutes, and they're done perfectly. The eggs inside are still soft how I like them. I don't like them too runny, but I don't want them really hard either. And yeah, they come out perfectly. So I'll show you them once I have cooked them all. So here we are served. The eggs have come out of the air fryer and they look really nice. Just served a little bit of salad. We're all having different variations. So this is for one of the boys, and then I'm going to have salad, and Steve will probably have salad with his. And this is what we've got for dinner tonight, and we've also got lots of leftovers. Tonight's dinner we have got salad with some pork loin steaks that I've just done on the air fryer. No, that I've just done on the grill for about, they take about 2 minutes. And then we've got leftover Scotch eggs that I made, and they've been kept in the fridge. And then I've got some Caesar dressing, some beetroot, lettuce, some homegrown tomatoes, grown by a neighbour, not us, some cucumber and some onion. And this is what is for our dinner tonight. So I'm just starting tonight's dinner, and I'm going to make a gammon and veg fried rice. So I've just got some oil heating in my pan, and I'm going to add some, and the battery died, what I was trying to say, is I'm going to add some finely chopped carrot and some onion. To begin with, and I'm going to give that probably about 5 minutes before adding some other bits and pieces. So I'm just going to add in some garlic, probably about 2 cloves worth. I'm going to put my chopped gammon in. I've also got some peas and some baby corn, but they're going to go in after because they don't take as long to cook. I'm just going to let that cook through. So I cooked my rice earlier, so I'm just going to add it. I've let it cool because it just goes better that way. I'm just going to add some in, and I'm going to put some smoked paprika and some onion granules and maybe some black pepper. And all the flavour from the gammon is collecting at the bottom, so that's all going to coat the rice as well. And then I'm going to put my baby corn and my peas. I'm not sure what other seasonings I'm going to put in here yet. So I've added some smoked paprika and a little bit of black pepper, a few onion granules. I'm just going to let that heat through. Ideally I would mix some egg in with this now, but I've only got one, which is not going to touch the sides really, so that was a bit of a mistake, but never mind, it will be fine as it is. It still tastes really good. And you can always drizzle some sweet chilli sauce or some fig glaze, or what else have we got, or some barbecue or something over it afterwards. But this is the basis of dinner tonight, and I'll show you it once I've plated up. So here we are served up. It doesn't really look any different to it did in the frying pan, but it's a really great one for using up all those leftover bits you've got in the fridge, and it always goes down really well in this house. So for tonight's dinner I have not reused, we've got the leftovers of the fish finger pie that I made in my budget meals video. It is best served fresh, but this has been in the freezer for a few weeks. But it's fine. I've topped it with some extra grated cheese because I didn't put cheese on it the first time round. And I've popped it in the microwave, made sure it's heated all the way through, and served it with some baked beans to give it some sauce in case it's dried out a bit. So this is what is for tonight's dinner. Leftover fish finger pie.
Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too.